Good evening, everyone. William in here, 1799. Glad you come around. If you like this video, hit the subscribe button, leave a comment, and pass this one on. I've been studying into this Maryland bill, which is HB 1287. And it's this guy right here. Now, it's interesting because you can get this on your computer, you can read it. This is a crude form of it. It's a legislative service, but it's a crude form. But let me read this real interesting part here. This bill prohibits a person from manufacturing, selling, offering, or for sale, purchasing, receiving, or transferring a convertible pistol. What is a convertible pistol? It's a new type of term for handgun. Any semi-automatic handgun is what it is. But let's get into this. Convertible pistol means any semi-automatic pistol that can be converted into a machine gun. Now, I understand what Maryland is pulling here. Any semi-automatic pistol can be converted into a machine gun solely by the attachment of a switch or auto sear. Now, under existing penalties, a violator is guilty of a misdemeanor punishable by 3 years in prison and up to $5,000 fine maximum. Okay? Now, I had pulled just interesting parts out of this because it's very interesting. It is just interesting the way they kind of pull this up here. Now, they mention Glock in a way, but see, here's the thing here. Glock, there's an auto switch that can be installed in a Glock and make it, an automatic firearm. All right. Now, it's just not Glock they're going after. It's all makes and models in this thing, which is interesting because they even talk auto sear. Now, there are also other detachment parts that can go into Colts, which have the hammer. Any hammer, external hammer, we will call it. How can I say this? They can be converted to do the same thing. Now, the way they got this kind of like all drawn out here is any make and model. So, they're not just going after Glock. They're going after all semi-automatic firearms here, or handguns, we'll say. Any one of them, they use a detachable magazine up to 10 rounds. The interesting part about this is supposed to stop crime and all this happy, BS, right? It's a convertible attachment. It's a switch or auto sear. And the irony of this whole damn thing is, all these handguns are in common use. All these handguns are in common use. Now, I imagine there'll be, if they pass this sort of crazy bill, if they do, every state that's under control by Democrats, like New Jersey, Maryland, Delaware, New York, all these states, California, will jump on this and call it something totally different. They'll rewrite, but it's the same damn thing. A lot of it is they don't want you to carry a firearm. That's what a lot of this is about anyway, but that's no here or there. Now, we're talking like Sig Sauer, Beretta, Ruger, Colt, Smith & Wesson, Springfield, all of them. You know, I mean, it's kind of really, really ridiculous. But here's the thing that catches my eye. It'll be illegal if you have it. Right then and there. So even if it's a striker fire or external hammer, it'll be banned. If it has an attachable magazine, it will be banned. You will not be able to transfer this firearm. You will not be able to sell this firearm. You will not be able to purchase this firearm. Nor upon your death, you can't even give it to a relative or anything like that. So what this really comes down to is this. It's another type of gun control that tries to strip you of your freedom and right to defend yourselves. But here's the thing that I always look at here. You want to take away semi-automatic firearms. I don't care if it's a rifle or a handgun. Well, my lever action rifle holds 12 rounds, so that will be considered an assault rifle. All right. So, we go back and forth. You don't want people to carry semi-automatic firearms, then how about they carry revolvers? You cannot conceal a revolver well, unless you get like a little 5-round, 4-round, 38 snubby or something like that sort. So you might as well carry the revolver openly. Well, you can't do that. We won't allow that in our state, so we'll have to ban all right to carry. You see how this is coming down to here. So with this kind of bill, is the way it's setting up is, it's like we're going to throw this out there and just see if we can get away with this. Now, probably the Supreme Court will get involved in this, or some of these other courts before it goes to the Supreme Court. But it's a common firearm that is commonly used across the country. So I don't think they can get away with it. But then again, nothing is impossible. And everything is probable. So here's the thing to this. There's a lot of signatures on this thing. A lot of them. So if they can actually get this thing through, it will probably be challenged by the Supreme Court most likely, and probably be knocked down. But in the interim of this damn thing, it comes up to, what we're going to tell you what you can do. And this is just Democrats. You might have a few rhino Republicans doing it, but most is all Democrats. Anyone who doesn't like firearms, pushed by anti-gun groups, mom against, whatever, I'm talking about. But like I said before here, they're going after all semi-automatic firearms, not just the Glocks now. Anything that has a switch or a sear. Anything that can be converted. So whether it be a 45, whether it be a 9mm, whether it be a 10mm, whatever it may be, striker fire, external hammer, they're out to try and nail these things. Now, what about the people who have permits to carry these firearms? I guarantee you won't be able to carry it. They'll stop you dead in your tracks on it. No grandfather clause, I don't think, neither. So you have to leave it in your house because it'll be illegal. Like I said, so you have to want to carry revolvers. It's a little hard to conceal a revolver, especially if it's got a 4-inch barrel. And I prefer a 4-inch barrel myself. So how would you conceal a revolver? You won't be able to. So anything with detachable magazine, that's another thing they're trying to play a game with too. They're trying to get rid of these firearms that can have detachable magazines for quicker loading, by the way. And they want to limit the amount of ammunition that a semi-automatic can carry, so a revolver max will probably carry 8 rounds. We're going to drop everything to 8 rounds now. Eventually, just only 6-round firearms will be permitted. You see what I'm saying? But here's the thing. Other states will try this. Other states will definitely try to jump on board and call it something totally different to push their anti-gun agenda across. And I won't be surprised if they get their political judges to put some type of, agreement with the politicians that from now on we're going to put a stay on this somehow, I guess, whatever they call it, and put a halt on people carrying these firearms until we get a different order out of it. And normally these judges will sit on it as much as they can. So any semi-automatic handgun is in the crosshairs. It's like I said before, you can't make this stuff up. You can't. And these Democrats never stop. They never stop when it comes to gun control. They have this idea that if we take all your firearms away, there'll be no crime. That's their idea. Now, anyone with common sense will tell you that's unicorn stuff. I mean, that's in storybook land. In the real world, it doesn't work that way. I mean, you got all the terror, you got criminals, you got drug dealers, murderers, rapists, and these Democrats want to protect these illegals at the same time. Put you and your family at risk. So like I said, you in Maryland, you might want to get on legislatures and jump on them heavy. And probably wouldn't be bad if people on the outside of the states make a nice polite phone call and say, look, you don't want this law. And be polite about it. But other states, like New Jersey, New York, and all the rest of them, you need to keep a close eye on something like this could sneak up out of nowhere. And they might find a way to somehow circle around this thing. So till then, do yourself a big favor. Keep your eyes and ears open for laws like this. Because this kind of legislation here is dirty. HB 1287 is something that you don't want it to happen on your doorstep. So get the proper training, practice. Do not be afraid to use that firearm to defend yourself and your family. And if you see anything weird out there or anything strange, call somebody. Let them know there's something wrong. Till then, we'll catch you around.